One of the Mets' worst players all season has been Starling Marte. Following his 2022 All-Star campaign, Marte this season is slashing .254, .308, .332 with a 83 WRC plus in 333 plate appearances. To no surprise, Marte has mentioned that he has been dealing with a lot of lingering pain and soreness due from his double groin/core surgery from the offseason. Marte went on to say the following: "I can't lie and say it's affecting my running because that's not how I feel at the very moment. But at the same time, we're working every day and we're doing everything that we need to do to make it better." Now, earlier this week, the Mets placed Marte on the 10-day injured list with severe migraines after missing consecutive games, reportedly vomiting aggressively for 48 hours. The Mets recalled prospect Mark Vientos to take Marte's spot on the roster, with no further update yet on the 34-year-old outfielder.
I think when we all kind of knew when we signed him, we knew year one would probably be decent. We'd hoped year two would be productive, and then we were scared for years 3 and 4. When you get that, a guy with his injury history in Pittsburgh and Miami and Arizona, wherever the else he's played, Philadelphia, I don't know. Guy played everywhere, it seemed like. I know he didn't play for Philly, but you knew his injury history. There was going to be some concerns, a nagging injury here. And last year he was productive. And again, like we expected, year one was going to be decent. We were praying that the regression wouldn't have come into at least year 3. But God, has been fucking awful. And it's not even like, oh, okay, he's hitting in the bad luck. No, he's going up there 3 swings, like the gif, like I think it's from Mickey Mouse, so the guy just going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's literally Starling Marte's ABs. He just goes up there. There's no pitch selection. There's no like, oh, I'm gonna sit fastball, and then if I get it's literally just going up there. Helen Keller, here we go, 3 swings. Let's make this over with. And there's his highlight of the season is literally SNY pans to a fan saying, "Open your fucking eyes." And the next pitch, he swings the slider like any other batter's box. That's his highlight of the season. And that pretty much sums it all up, that the regression is here. And this is worst case scenario because you're stuck for 2 more years at $20 million a season. And you're getting into, oh God, we're going to have to McCann this guy soon, where you're just going to have to eat all the money. You're going to get nothing in return. And this is just another outfielder and just another pile of burning money on Roby Island with the McCann, with the Cano of, again, Billy Epler. We brought him up a lot today instead of going with, in their prime players. Let's just continue the trend of past or at the end of their prime players and try to, hey, we got 2 to 3 years. Hopefully they're good the 2 to 3 years. We're fucked on the back end. And this is what happened. This is, you roll that dice, you swing and miss with pitching, and you swung and miss with bats like Starling Marte most of the time. And the defense has been bad. He's just straight up drop balls that, normal outfielders can catch. And it's just been, the regression is here. And we're hoping year 3 of the deal. It's like, oh, we got 2 good years out of him. And okay, now he's 36 or whatever he would have been next year. And boom, it's kind of what it is. But if we're going to opening day next year and he is not the 4th outfielder and they bring in 2 starting caliber outfielders, that's a problem.
It's hard to have a 4th outfielder making $20 million, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a rough year for Starling Marte, and this makes it even worse. Andrew touched on a lot of the points with Marte, and the thing is, similar like we've talked about with Verlander and Scherzer, he still has a couple more years on his contract. And like we said, when you are an older player like this, it's only going to get worse. That's the sad part. The drop-off, and again, we knew year 4 would be kind of dicey, but the drop-off from year 1 to year 2 was pretty stark and drastic. But I think I'm more so concerned with how he recovered from, the core injuries, the double groin surgery, things like that, just how much the lower half was already breaking down. That's where you build your power from. And that's what Starling Marte, he's a spark plug kind of player, and that comes from his lower half, putting it in the gaps, those doubles, triples, stolen base, things like that. Batting at the 2 spot in the lineup, he was making a lot of things happen. He was right in the middle of a lot of the Mets' action on the offensive end last year. But if his lower half is compromised, I mean, he doesn't have the redeeming, prolific, consistent power to make up for it, where it's like, okay, if he's not hitting, double, triple, stealing bases, he's stealing home runs. The home runs, similar to Canada, down significantly. I mean, the power has just been totally zapped out of his bat because he was a guy that every now and then, he was more than sneaky power because when he got a hold of it, I mean, there were no doubters. He could hit no doubters. He didn't hit a lot of them, but he could hit them. He did have good max exit velocity. But I just think that, like Andrew said, it's like, even though he's getting paid whatever he's getting paid, you can't count on him being a big time contributor next year because it's been so bad this year. And again, it's not going to get better. That I would hope, and this is like I was talking about, we talked about the Chris Bryant, hypothetical, just whatever, but still, they're going to need corner outfielders. I mean, whether it's next year, the year after that, because guess what? Looking at the farm system, there's none on the way. So are you going to make Alex Ramirez a corner guy? Maybe. Okay, you're still going to have outfield problems going forward. So I think that, trying to get ahead of it now, if you see some players you like right now, go for it because I would not be, being, let's just keep the guys we have. You got to get rid of that approach. Last year, 101 wins doesn't matter. It's about this year. It's about next year. That's in the past. It doesn't matter because you brought back the same team, nowhere near the same results. So I think they've got to be looking at other options, other avenues because the way he's been playing right now this whole migraine thing, who knows where this is going to end up. I hope this isn't anything like actually major where, he has like some underlying thing that they have to work on, kind of like Quintana and whatever. Like, you hope it's not that kind of scenario, but it's just another, I don't know the word for it, but it's just another bad thing to happen to Marte this season. A bad year gets only worse. That's the way I look at it.
If I were to compare from him coming down from this 2022 season where he was great, I think overall I can say that this is watching Starling Marte all year of how he's been and how things have gone for him. It's heartbreaking. It really is just heartbreaking how much of a toll that this year has taken on this guy physically and mentally. It's heartbreaking to watch.
You actually showing emotion and caring for a Met, that's a fucking shock.
Look what he did last year compared to this. Like, and it's not going to get better though. Like, let's it's not going to get better. He's in his mid-30s now, right? And I've always said, like, as much of a Conforto fan as I am, I like Starling Marte. I think he's a great player. I did not like the 4 years because of the injury history. And this is not just injury history now. It's kind of just this guy is mentally gone. He's physically gone. The guy is getting sick, for God's sake. Like, we're getting to one of those points where you don't know if you're going to see this guy on a baseball field. And it's come to a point right now where I am saying, shut this guy down for the rest of the season. I don't want to see him on the field. Let him get ready for next year. I don't think that he's going to be the starting fourth outfielder, but that'll obviously be a little bit talked about in a video for Andrew going down the line in this week. But this has been just depressing. It's depressing. He is the most depressing player to watch because we know how electric he can be when he's red hot. He's a great player at his best. And this is just worse than ever in the second year of this contract. This is worse than I could have ever imagined. We knew that there was going to be injury concern, but this guy is vomiting now. That's how bad this is. And that's what we're looking at here for the next 2 years. And I don't know about the back end of this deal. It's just tough. It really is.
I mean, have we even gotten an update as to what his condition is? What's going on? What's the diagnosis? How long is the timetable? Like, we know nothing. Like, the guy was sick and had some migraines, and we don't know what's happening.
I think Buck said something today. He's like, he's only had 3 good days. So that was literally all we've gotten since he's been put on the IL is Buck going, he's had 3 good days today. So that's good. Like, thanks, Buck. It's great analysis.
I mean, unless you have stomach bug, I don't know, because that doesn't just randomly happen and then goes away. Like, something like that is, I would think there has to be something going on. So, again, I'm not a doctor, so I don't pretend to know. I don't know anything about medical stuff. But
neither is the Mets training staff. So,
no doubt there. So, again, we hope it's nothing that's going to come back again. Nothing serious long term and all that. That's my only hope, is that it's just a quick little thing and that he's able to get back on the field. But again, what's he going to do to, make up for it? How is he going to get back to that player? Because I don't see it. I think that player is gone. I mean, because the thing I loved about Marte last year was he was just so consistent. I mean, he hovered from like 280 to 300 the whole year. I mean, like 285.
His whole career too. whole career as well.
I mean,
his whole
he's just a
career.
guy that he just felt like he was always doing something productive. He was always doing something helpful day in, day out. Meanwhile, this year, it feels like, is he ever doing anything productive? Is he ever doing anything helpful? Like, just such a drastic drop off in such a short amount of time. And again, like you're talking about for his career, like Marte doesn't have down years. You know, like I mean, we saw with McNeil, like he had a down year, was able to bounce back. With Marte, he's never had down years, so we don't know if he's capable of bouncing.
The only down years are when like he's had injuries.
Exactly, and then like double groin surgery, like you don't come back, you don't get better from that. Cord injuries, things like that. You know, he had the hand thing last year. Like, there's just too much going on at this point that you don't come back from that.
Yeah, it's just hit after hit after hit. It just continues to get worse for him. That's it. And the fact that we're tied down to fully guaranteed 2 more years. I mean, it's going to be a nightmare. It's just really, it's a nightmare. And we've talked about this tons of times on here. I'm scared. I really am. I'm scared, and I'm continue to be scared, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be scared.